welcome to another edition of JustRipIt.com, where here we take you into the past and basically open up packs from the past in order for you to review yours. Playing the old Yankee theme song from the 70s, for those of you who remember, Phil Rizzuto, Frank Messer, and Bill White. Great old classic song, brings back a lot of memories. Just to take you through a quick tutorial at JustRipIt.com. What we do here every Wednesday is do a live broadcast. You go to our website at JustRipIt.com and you buy shares and each individual pack that we have. And these packs are basically from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And once the shares are full, we open the pack live for you and randomize the names and go from there. We're also going to make a special promotion we're doing. I know it's Black Friday's over, it's Cyber Monday, it's Green Tuesday. They got all these different days and events, but basically at JustRipIt.com, probably till the remainder of the end of the year, that's our Black December, we'll call it. We're giving away, if you spend $100 at JustRipIt.com after you register and spend $100 or more, we will give you 5,000 points, which could be used towards any purchase of any shares of packs. 5,000 points is about a $50 credit. It's a very nice offer. It's going to be a limited time only. I'll say probably through the month of December. And I think it's something everyone should take advantage of. As you can see also, when you do buy a share in the pack, we give back points also. For instance, if you make a purchase for $200, you will get 2,000 more points on top of the whole 5,000 that we're giving you. We want to give people more chance to open packs. We have a lot of packs here. We want to get them open and give people a chance to really hit the lottery. Get that star player that they want and they need. And I think that's very important on that point. So with that, what we're doing here tonight is we have the 1966 Fleer Three Stooges. It's graded by PSA. Which is very important to have these packs graded. It solidifies the fact they are unsearched and sealed, which is very important. I'd have to say, and you can Google this and do your own research, but about 90 to 95% of the packs that aren't graded online are generally opened and resealed again. And I'm telling you, you got to be very careful out there. You got these wise guys on eBay or whatever auction sites you use that will take the pack, open it, search it, take out the quality cards, go on eBay, find some nice cards, stick them in there. Maybe if a guy's nice enough, he'll probably put an off-centered star in there, and that's it. And that's why it's very difficult. I just want to show an example. This is like a wacky pack from 1980. Not a big deal. But what these guys can possibly do is take the cards out. The gum, I threw the gum out. But they leave the gum in there. Here they are. These are bringing back some memories. Jerkatol. Sunstroke. Funny stuff. The 80s. The wacky packs, the big popular ones are from the early 70s. But what they basically do is they take out the #1 card that's worth thousands, put it in their pocket, and then they'll take these cards, put them right back into the pack, and they carefully reseal it. And I'm telling you, I don't want to... I'm not telling you that people do this for a living, but right here, chapstick. And they'll just basically, like it's your lip, chap it up. And smart guys will get they seal it pretty tight. They get an iron. I'll use my fingers now. I don't have an iron here right now. And there you go. Hey, I got a sealed pack right here. Hey, load up, buy it up. Forget it. I think at JustRipIt.com, I think a lot of people buy these wax wrappers online. I don't know why they do. I know why they do. You know why? Because they can reseal the packs. What we do here at JustRipIt.com, we take this wax wrapper, you know what we do with it? Can't reseal me anymore. And know where this goes? In the garbage. Good luck trying to reseal that pack after you try to put the wrapper back together. More importantly, back to the Three Stooges. 1959 was the main Three Stooges card set that was out there at the time. There were colorized versions of Larry, Moe, and Curly. Very popular. I highly doubt you can find the graded pack of the 1959 Three Stooges. Very few exist. The ones that are out there are probably in someone's safe deposit box. There is one on eBay, a little high priced. It's tough because basically you lose the top card from the gum and the bottom card from the wax, and then they're very old and weren't really packed too good. But the 59 series is phenomenal. If anybody collect those out there, just a great set. They were three funny guys. I mean, if you got younger kids, don't forget about these three guys. In 1966, they did a Fleer Three Stooges wax pack. As you can see, it's not Curly, it's Curly Joe. Curly passed away, I think around 1951. Had a couple of strokes. Shemp came back in, finished up the rest of the Stooges, and then when Shemp left, they brought Curly Joe in, and he basically took the ride from there. This pack was 5 cents, and it was 1966. The key cards, like in any pack, are the first and the last card, which is number 1 and number 66. The first and last card are always very valuable because when kids were younger, they would take a rubber band. Obviously, everyone should know this. When they were, back in the 60s, when they put them in their pocket, they would take the top card and bottom card, put the rubber band around it. Those are the cards that took the most damage from wear and tear on that end. So those are the most valuable ones. Most PSA 10s, card number 1 and the PSA 10, I think, well, a while ago, and that's what's good about these, to show the rarity, sold for a couple $1,000s. And most 9s will get you, let me think. Yeah, PSA at 10, there's about maybe 7 or 8 cards in the PSA 10 that will probably give you close to $1,000 on that front. It's not a very valuable pack overall, but for $1,000 and maybe $1,500 for the first and last card, or even more. It depends on the collector, the supply demand, or if there's 3 or 4 people looking for that card, you get into a bidding war, and you'll be surprised on that front. We're going to open this up in about maybe 15-20 minutes. What I want to do right now is just go over briefly a couple of other packs that we have online. We'll start with football. Our first pack, we'll put the Three Stooges over there. The first pack I want to go over is a 1960 Topps football cello pack. And there's a Jim Parker on the back already. And on the front is Bob St. Clair. In this pack, it's graded again by PSA. Very well-known grader. Is the possibility of a PSA 10 of Johnny Unitas. He is probably the most valuable card in this set. He's a great quarterback, and if you can get him in a PSA 10 out of this pack in particular, last one sold for like $25,000. That's a lot of money. That's a very Merry Christmas right there. Jim Brown, not his rookie year. Ray Berry, Y.A. Tittle in a PSA 10, $8,000. Not too bad on that front. And there's also some like PSA 9s of Bart Starr, Harlan Hill, Lenny Moore, Forrest Gregg, the old coach of the Bengals, Leo Sugar, a couple of these guys even before I wasn't even born when these guys were playing, but they can really fetch a good amount of money. And a PSA 9 of Johnny Unitas, not even a 10. Hey, I can't get a 10. I know it's tough to get a 10. You get a 9. The last PSA 9 of Johnny Unitas sold for $14,000. There's 12 cards in this pack. Each share is $175. There's only 132 cards in the set. There's 30 Hall of Famers. Don't forget, these guys got into the Hall of Fame maybe in the late 60s, early 70s. And Bob St. Clair, the guy on top, is a Hall of Famer at that point. So you have a real good chance to pull a Hall of Famer on that front. I mentioned the PSA 9 Unitas sold for $14,000. A couple other 9s sold for a couple $1,000 also. Ringo sold for $2,400 in 2016. Just a great pack. And Topps did that back then. Another pack I want to feature is the 1967 Cello pack. And it was Philadelphia football. They had, I think, 4 years, 64, 65, 66, and 67, where they had these cards made, and they were battling with Topps at the time. It was kind of a big bidding war trying to get these players to do what they had to do. There's 12 cards in this pack. It's graded by PSA, and we'll give you a little hint. Jim Marshall is on the back. I'm not going to show you the back. We'll keep that more suspenseful. But this pack sold for 10 cents. Each share is $140. There's 12 cards in the pack. 198 players in the Philly set in 1967. And 35 are Hall of Famers. So very good odds. And if you go click on the pack on my website, I'll give you the odds. And what the most, about 18%, I believe I did the math on my research. Chance of pulling a Hall of Famer. And if you get a PSA 10, even if it's, I got Leroy Kelly, Chris Hamburger, Dick Butkus, great player, Bart Starr, big Packer player, Johnny Unitas again. You're going to hear that name over and over through the 60s. Dan Reeves, great football player, and a great coach of the Denver Broncos, coached John Elway to the Super Bowl, and Paul Hornung. Any one of those cards you pull and comes out of PSA 10, 10,000 or more. Lot of money, guys. Lot of money. Only 86 cards were a PSA 10. They're very rare, very valuable. You pull it, we'll grade it for free. You can keep it, you can sell it, you can shop it around, you can do whatever you want on that front. Just another good point too, if you buy a share for $140, we will give you 1,400 points. These points will add up over each purchase, and it's important because those will give you free shares in some of our other packs where you could use it partly for that, for any other cash and points, whatever you want to do on that front. We got some other packs here also. We have a 1972 Topps Football, which is graded by GAI. It's a third series set. Which is pretty good. Third series was, they issued 3 series, and they did it in tranches, early in the football season, middle, and the end. And by the time you got close to the end of the season, basically, not too many kids bought them, so they became very rare, and they didn't make too many of them. Share in one of these is about $90. There's only 10 cards in the set, and Ken Willard or Rayfield Wright is 3,000 or more in a PSA 10. And there's also a Steve Spurrier rookie card, great Florida Gator coach, and he was a great football player. A lot of these coaches were always great football players. And Steve Spurrier, coach of South Carolina, coach of the Gators, little quick stint in the NFL with the Redskins. We'll discuss that. I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate it. But there's Mercury Morris in here, Joe Namath in action, George Blanda, Alan Page, even a Steve Spurrier in action, all worth $1,000 to $2,000 in a PSA 10. And there was 25 Hall of Famers in this third series set. It's a great little wax pack. A good one for you to take a look at and enjoy. And we go back a little bit in time here. This is a 1959 Topps Cello pack with Gene Gedman on the front. You can clearly see. Beautiful card on the front. Someone's going to get this card. That's what makes it so great. A share in this pack, there are 12 cards, is $125. And once again, you get a PSA 10 of Johnny Unitas or Jim Brown. $25,000 to $30,000. Yeah, write that down. Rewind the tape. Hear it again. $25,000 to $30,000 for a PSA 10 of Johnny Unitas or Jim Brown. If you don't get a Johnny Unitas or Jim Brown, you can still get a Bart Starr, Alan Ameche, Don Burrows, Dave Hanner, Steve Myra, all worth $6,000 to $10,000. And I'll be honest, I don't even know who these guys even are. But they must have been great Hall of Famers, and some of your old-timers out there will probably remember them, or some of your dads probably watched them, and it's really just people want these cards. PSA 10s are rare. Collectors will buy them better than art or wine. It's just how it goes. Also in this series is Pat Summerall, great player, John Madden's sidekick. Everyone knows Pat Summerall. I think he played for the Giants. There's a Packer team card in here, Paul Hornung, Sam Huff, all worth $3,000 to $6,000. This is a first series. I looked at the front and back of the card. It is a first series. There's only 88 cards, and there's 22 Hall of Famers. So you got about a 4-to-1 shot of pulling a Hall of Famer. It's 25% of the set. And I have to say, do your research, because if you get a PSA 10 of Jim Brown. It sold for $33,600 in 2017. $33,000. So for $125, if you pull the Jim Brown, and if it's a PSA 10, I have to safely say, according to market conditions and how many people are bidding for the card and who wants it, you're going to get in excess of $30,000 for that card. And that's no chump change. Even a PSA, you may pull a Burroughs, card number 59. Burroughs, I don't know Burroughs, but you know what? Somebody paid $10,000 for a PSA 10 of Mr. Burroughs back in 2017 also. And there's also a Hammer. Not the hammer you hammer with, but the Hammer, card number 64. This year, in a PSA 10, sold for $9,500. $9,499. This is according to PSA. This is a sale through auction houses. It's documented. It's researched. It's pretty wild. Real quickly also, besides getting points for each pack, what we have is a dividend. This is Wall Street trading cards. Wall Street trading cards is where I basically combine Wall Street and sports cards. I've been a trader on Wall Street for over 30 years. I know the value of stocks. I know the value of baseball cards. So I thought it was kind of a nice gesture. At the end of each randomized drawing, we will take all the names in the randomized drawing. We will re-randomize them according to the roll of the dice. Remember the dice? And one lucky winner, on top of the 1,250 points in this example, it's $125. I mean, you can go to our website and read this, but you'll get 1,250 instant points right in your pocket. We give back right away when you make a purchase. Also, at the end, we'll randomize the 12 names, and the first person who's in the number 1 slot will get 2,000 more reward points as a dividend. Stocks pay cash dividends. We give points as a little bonus to each drawing at the end, just to show our consideration for being a part of JustRipIt.com. And also another touch, if you go to our website, JustRipIt.com, you will see a ticker tape that scrolls across the bottom, which will tell you each pack, how many cards in the pack, how many shares or cards left in the pack, and the price. And when it gets down to 1 or 2, it'll start blinking. And believe me, when we start getting some good continuity and packs start to go fast, it gives you a chance maybe to get in there and swoop up that last share. And again, right then and there, we will rip it live or on our next broadcast from that part. More importantly, I like to roll right into the 1966 Fleer Three Stooges. We're going to be opening this pack shortly. And once again, it's graded, unsearched, and sealed. These guys are my favorite. I watched them my whole life with my father. I'm teaching my kids to watch them, and their kids will watch them. We'll have 8 billion channels in 20 years, but I'm sure they'll squeeze the Stooges in there somehow, some way on that front. So what we're going to do right now is we have 6 shares in this pack. Each share was, scroll here, was $50. Sold out pretty quick. A lot of collectors of the Three Stooges. There's a lot of people out there that really enjoy this pack and do what they have to do on that front. But we're going to open it shortly. Oh yeah, by the way, we have Just Rip It mugs. Beautiful, great stocking stuffer. Use your points, buy them. It's really phenomenal. I love it. I'll have to keep that right there. Can keep it somewhere so somebody can see it. All right. Once again, here at JustRipIt.com, we take all the names in the randomizer. We have our names here already, and basically we have 6 names that are in the randomizer. And once again, we take the dice. We're doing this live. We're making history here, opening up our first pack at JustRipIt.com. We roll the dice, and it's a 9. These are Resort International dice from my father, who passed away 10 years ago. Big Resort International guy. I don't know if he stole the dice or not, but either way. All right, so we have the names here. We're going to randomize it 9 times, and we will click it 9 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We now have our randomized list. And we do this to keep it fair. Even though we don't know what's in the pack, what order, we do it fair just in case somebody can see through the wax. Sometimes you can see the card. We do it safe and sound that way. We take these names, do this nice and slow so everybody has a chance to understand the process. And we put them into our customer list. Hold on here. And voila, there's our list. David Hudgens gets the first card. Richard Cohen gets the first, second, and third. Timothy Swales will get the fifth, and the sixth card will also go to Richard Cohen on that front. And that's how we do it. And these cards will be pulled, put right into their card saver, and shipped right out to the people, unless with their approval, we'll have it graded on the house for them. Okay, we got the names. We randomized the list. We have our order live on the screen. We now bring over the scalpel, the tools, and everything else that we need. And it's a brand new, sharp DeWalt. Do not attempt to do this at home. Oh, and more importantly, you only get 2 eyes in life. And I'm not about to lose any of them. Pretty cool. Could wear these anytime you want. We will then crack the pack. It's a big mess. You don't want to walk around barefoot after this is done. And it's a process. But boy, these things are sealed pretty good. I just love these guys. Now, if you're really old, you will remember that song. The intro to the Three Stooges. I take this little piece of paper right here and send it right back to
We've all run out of contact, but now you can read your
PSA
prescription online.
for population purposes. I'll do that later. There's a lot of little plastic clips here, and yes, I gotta be careful walking barefoot. This will all be dust busted down the road. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We then take the pack carefully with the screwdriver. Card is now seeing air for the first time in a while. And we're almost there. There's the pack. Voila. Don't buy the pack like this online. You saw what I did to the wrapper. That's what we like to do here. Alright, a very momentous occasion here. I can't wait to open this pack. You're going to see some beautiful cards. I mean, I don't want to keep elaborating on this, but no one seems to understand. It's almost as if you're familiar with the movie Back to the Future. Oh, say goodbye to the goggles. That was easy. You watch the movie Back to the Future. Imagine going into a time capsule or a spaceship or the DeLorean that Michael J. Fox used in Back to the Future, and going back into time. And you're transported to 1966, and you're dropped off on a corner in Manhattan, New York City somewhere, and you got a nickel in your pocket, which was nothing back then, back today, but a lot back then. And you walk into a 5 and dime, and before you're going back to 2018, you give a nickel to the shopkeeper there, and he gives you this beautiful pack, and you're like, wow, this is great. Get back into the space machine, time machine, you come back, and here we are. Wow, I got this pack. Cost me a nickel, and now I got it like I just bought it back in 1966. And here we go. What we're going to do at this point is open the pack. The top card will be Dave Hudgens. That'll be the first card on the pack, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to open it up very carefully. Ooh, good, that wax did not stick to there. Top card goes to Dave Hudgens. Must be a nice Stooge collector. Top card of the pack, so I'm going to flip it over. The wrapper we'll put over there. Whoa, and this gum, boy. This is some old molded gum. Gonna have to really see if I can carefully get that gum off of there. You know what? That gum ain't coming off. And Dave, we're gonna have to give you a credit. And what we're gonna do is send you this card with the gum on top. If you can get it off, great, without damaging the card, but you're getting it for free. We're gonna send you back the $50, and this will be your first card. Which also, by the way, we're gonna be putting on our website in the next couple days. There is a company called GoneWithTheStain.com. Dick and Adam Towle are my two good friends. They've done a lot of work. What Gone With The Stain will do is you send them any card that has a crease, a wrinkle, a gum stain, a wax stain. Right now we probably have a gum stain. We may have a wax stain on the first card. They will take that stain out for a $10 flat rate fee if you mention justripit.com. I think it's a great thing. Their motto is addition by subtraction, and by that I guess they mean they subtract the wax, the stain, the gum, the crease, a wrinkle, and add value to the card. They do what they do. It's all done legitimately. They've been in business for a long time. That site and link will be posted on our website. It's called GoneWithTheStain.com, and just mention our name and they'll do a $10 flat rate. And for that $10, could add hundreds, if not thousands, to the card, because PSA will label a card stained or, you know, whatever it may be. So card number one, Dave, is Mo. It's supposed to be Dying Swan, but it's Joe, more like the Pachyderm. Card number 18. Again, the gum is on there. Dave, do not eat the gum. I may try to take it off. If I put it in the freezer, maybe it'll pop off. We'll see how it works. But don't eat the gum. That ain't going to work out too well. But we'll send you out that. Card number 2, Richard Cohen. Richard Cohen is going to get card number 19. And this is a beautifully centered, maybe a little off center, but look at the corners. The corners are, I don't want to touch them. You can cut yourself on those corners. The back's a picture card. The back looks clean. A really nice card. Congratulations there, Richard. This is going in card saver number 2. Carefully, we'll put that in there. I mean, these cards are unbelievable. Richard Cohen, card number 3, number 60. Again, razor sharp. Corners are beautiful. The photograph, black and white, beautiful. Everything's displayed there. The back is a puzzle card. Another beautiful card. Really beautiful. Really a good addition to get graded if you want a graded set. Some people don't like to have them graded. They want them raw. Works out that way. Card number 4. Richard Cohen again also. Card number 43. Mo, take that back or else. We'll give you exactly 30 days. Once again, pack fresh. Beautiful card. No blemishes. No stains. Maybe a little bit off center. Just slightly. Off centering's tough. What we do here at justripit.com, that these are pack fresh, touched by the hand for the first time for about 7 seconds while I'm yapping, and it goes right back into the card saver. Ready to ship out. Card number 5, Timothy Swales. Oh, looks like there's only 5 cards. So Richard Cohen will get a refund. Oh boy, that's nice. Card number 12. Mo, Larry, and Curly behind the wheel. Beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful. Slightly off center. I know PSA is pretty hard with that, but it doesn't look that bad at all. The back is paper clean. The edges are beautiful. Just a beautiful card there, Tim. Congratulations for card number 5. There's supposed to be 6 cards in the pack. There's only 5. Richard Cohen will get a refund. David Hudgens will get a refund because it's the bubblegum sticking back there. And that's how we do it at justripit.com. Card number 1 with the gum. There's the gum. Gum has to be destroyed or thrown out. Richard Cohen, card number 2. Card number 3 for Richard. Card number 4 for Richard. And card number 5 for Timothy Swales. And there was no card number 6. That is empty. And Richard will get a full refund. We'll refund that money back to him as soon as possible. And there we are. First pack ripped. Cards will be sent out. And just a historic moment. I just love these cards. I love them. I want to go over our loyalty program again. Once again, if you spend $50, you'll get 500 points. If you spend $100, 1,000 points. And if you spend $300, you'll basically get you'll get 3,000 points. It's roughly 10% back. Those points accumulate like any other loyalty reward program. The more shares you buy, the more points you get. The more points you get, the more shares you can buy. And it's just a give back on our end. On top of that, also the dividend. What we're going to do now is randomize for the dividend. So we'll go back to the randomizer. And we're going to roll the dice because some lucky winner is going to get actually bonus points. And that's called a dividend. In the stock market, they give you cash. In this day and age with JustRipIt.com, we are going to give the lucky winner, number 1, 800 more points to be accumulated into their list. We roll the dice, it's a 10. We're going to randomize this list 10 times, and whoever finishes in the first place, first slot, will get 800 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Richard Cohen, congratulations. You get an additional 800 reward points added to your total, which you can use towards more packs down the line. And that's your dividend. We like to give back as much as we can, and the dividend will go a long way on top of the points you get for your purchases also on that front. And that's it. I also want to have there's a little special promotion I'm doing also for this, to our next live broadcast, which is next Wednesday. Any baseball pack that you purchase, any share of any baseball pack you purchase, I will give, on top of the points, on top of the card you're going to get, on top of the dividend you may get, I'm going to give a 1968 official Major League Baseball iron-on pack. This came from a box that was sealed. These are sealed. It's just a good novelty item. They're cool. They're stickers. If you have an old logo, it's even better. These are made by Fleer. So any baseball pack that you do buy will get you this beautiful bonus for free. Baseball iron-on patch. Any football, these came from a Mile High auction. These just came actually yesterday. Any football share that you buy between now and our next live broadcast, we will also give to you for free. This is a 1974 Topps football pack. Now, there's one stick of bubble gum. These were promotion packs. There's only one card in this pack. It was a one-card promotion. Very rare. You can open it. You can keep it sealed. You can just put it on your shelf. It's a very nice thing. I'm giving this for free to anybody that buys a football share from our packs at JustRipIt.com. I think it's just a great little thing. And I only have 20 of them, so the first 20 people between now and next Wednesday, while supplies last, same with the baseball, until I get some more, we'll be giving out free to all our lucky purchasers on that front. Just a beautiful item to have on that end. What I want to do real quickly before we sign off is just go over our baseball packs that we have. The baseball packs are just really nice cards. Let me move that randomizer over there. I featured this pack on our last broadcast. It's basically a 1966 Topps Baseball Cello Pack, second series. One of our more higher end packs, it goes for $300 a share, And yes, you do the math, you get 3,000 points right off the bat, which is equal to $30 towards another purchase of another pack on that front. This pack may have a Jim Palmer, who's a Hall of Famer, his rookie card. If it's graded at a PSA 10, $25,000. Not that bad. If you don't get a Jim Palmer and you get a Lou Brock or Joe Morgan or Ernie Banks, Brock and Morgan are about $8,000 in the PSA 10. And these numbers are legit. Again, depending on market auctions and depending upon the supply, demand, the bidders and whatnot. But Lou Brock and Joe Morgan are about $8,000 in the PSA 10. Ernie Banks in the PSA 10, $5,000. On top of that, Whitey Ford and Harmon Killebrew in a PSA 10, in excess of $3,000. And yes, we'll all just keep going. Joe Torre, the great Yankee manager, Rocky Colavito, one of my personal favorites, and Orlando Cepeda. If you get those guys in the PSA 10, $1,000 or more. You're practically tripling your money if you pull that card and if it's a PSA 10. And again, these are packed fresh. The corners are beautiful, and it's all down to the centering. There's 9 Hall of Famers in this pack. It's a Series 2 cello. You can go to psacard.com and check which cards are in Series 2. I do the best I can on my website to explain who's in the pack and do my little research. And there's 9 Hall of Famers in Series 2. So there's great odds of pulling the Hall of Famer. And just for the record, Joe Morgan and Jim Palmer, population report according to psacard.com, no PSA 10s. So what I'm saying, a Palmer's worth $25,000 or a Joe Morgan's worth a lot of money, the sky's the limit. In this day and age, 2018, the economy's booming. People can pay you a lot more money for these cards. It all depends on the collector. Some people really they want the card. By wanting the card, they'll basically pay whatever they have to on that end. A couple more packs I want to do before I sign off, because these are just beautiful. It's a 1959 Topps baseball cello pack. Unbelievable. Dolan Nichols on the front. There's 12 cards in this pack, which means there's 12 shares. It's $175 per share. And when we sell it out, all 12 cards, we will rip it. In this pack, boy, these numbers, I don't ever get tired of reading them. But Ernie Banks or Al Kaline in a PSA 10, $20,000 or more. It's there, folks. It's there. If you can't get a Banks or a Kaline in this series, there's Billy Martin, Richie Ashburn, Luis Aparicio. There's the National League Hit Kings with Willie Mays and Ashburn. Sparky Anderson's rookie card, great Detroit Tiger manager. Hoyt Wilhelm, all worth in a PSA 10. Those players, $5,000 or more. And it's really could work out to be a great investment. Also in this pack, there was no trade statement and no option statement. Very rare. Some cards had that. I can't go over too much in detail now, but on the back of the card, if there was a traded or not traded or no option, these cards are worth in a PSA 10 over $1,000. And Dolan Nichols is right there, one of the no trade, no option statements. PSAcard.com will isolate these cards and show you basically, because there was 2 variations, they're worth a lot more. A PSA 8.5 of a no trade statement handbrink sold for $3,000 a couple of years ago. And card number 336, which is in this pack, was a no trade statement. And a PSA 8, forget 9 or 10, I can't even imagine the numbers. And a PSA 8 sold for $2,858 this year. Just this year. And a bunch of those other gentlemen, great Hall of Famers I mentioned. Card number 302, Mossy, PSA 10 this year, $4,200. Don Zimmer. Everybody knows who Don Zimmer is. He's a great Yankee manager. He was the one that was a Pedro Martinez threw to the ground in that Yankee Reds, threw that old poor man down. Popeye. Don Zimmer, Popeye. A PSA 10 of Popeye, card number 287, Don Zimmer, $5,381 in 2018. And Card number 353, Flood, $5,900. And if you're sitting down, if you do happen to go back to Ernie Banks and get a PSA 10 of Ernie Banks, the last one that sold, according to PSAcard.com, was $22,705 a couple years back. Do your math, add some inflation to that number. I'm not adding inflation to the number, but believe me, it gets up there. A couple other highlighted packs. We have a 1972 Topps Baseball Wax Pack, a beautiful card, a beautiful picture of a pitcher on the card. There's 10 cards in this pack. It's a second series. I do some homework on that on my website. Again, go to www.justripit.com. You go to the front page, you click on the pack, and up will come the research. Similar to a Wall Street stock, I did my due diligence and research on every pack for you to save you a lot of time and effort so you know exactly what's in there. Second series, 130 cards. It was cards 133 to 263. And you know what? For $50, if you pull a PSA 10 of Lou Brock, well worth over $2,000. World Series cards are in this. American League World Series, playoff, and various World Series cards in a PSA 10, $2,000 to $3,000. There's a beautiful Vita Blue in action for $1,300. Last sale on PSA 10. And a bunch of cards worth $500 to $1,000. More when I was probably like, I was a little youngster back then. But I remember Ed Kranepool, Dave Kingman, Joe Rudy, Raleigh Fingers, George Foster, Jim Brewer, all worth $500 to $1,000. And the other in-action cards have some value. There's 12 in this series also. And moving right along, not to take up too much of your time here, 1970 Topps Baseball Cello Pack. I got a second series and a sixth series. Just a phenomenal pack. I love 1970. I'm not going to disclose my age, but I was a little kid. I remember these cards vaguely. I just couldn't afford the 20 cents to go buy the pack back then. It was a lot of money. But the second series, Manny Sanguine on top, is 33 cards in this cello pack. Just a beautiful, beautiful set that Topps had. And the big cards in here in a PSA 10, Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson. If you're lucky enough to pull a Reggie Jackson or Thurman Munson out of this pack, you're basically, I mean, the last Reggie Jackson a couple of years ago in a PSA 10 sold for an excess of $43,000 for Mr. October. A great price. And that was in 2016. Thurman Munson, $30,000. The captain, the Yankee catcher, the poor guy that just died in that plane crash. A beloved guy. Just a great player, a great card. If I ever pulled that card, I'd get it graded and put it on my shelf. One of my heroes growing up. Harmon Killebrew, Willie McCovey, Juan Marichal, Steve Carlton, Ted Williams, Mr. Baseball, Brooks Robinson. Any of those Hall of Famers in a PSA 10, $2,000 to $5,000. $2,000 to $5,000. A lot of money for a $45 investment by buying one share. There's also NLCS, ALCS playoff cards, all estimated $500 to $2,000 each. There's a key checklist card in this set. There's 14 Hall of Famers. There's only about 130 cards in this set. Great opportunity to pull a Hall of Famer out of there. And I also have the same 1970 wax pack, cello pack here. And this is a second series. Again, every series had a different tranche of Hall of Famers. Topps released these at different times to give everybody a chance to get different players. I have this at $40 a share, which I think is a very good price. Again, you get 400 points right away making the purchase. The dividend is 600 reward points. And boy, newsflash, Willie Mays, Say Hey Willie, PSA 10, sold in 2018. That's this year, guys. This year. $34,000 for a PSA 10 Willie Mays and PSA Magazine. I saw the auction. I couldn't believe the bidding war that came in. Who knows if you pull another one, it can be even higher or the same or whatnot. Ernie Banks in a PSA 10 in this series, $7,000. Pistol Pete Rose, $4,000 in a PSA 10. Orlando Cepeda, Gaylord Perry, Jim Catfish Hunter, one of my Yankee favorites. Ed Kranepool, Don Sutton, Wayne Garrett, a couple of Met guys in there. Over $1,000 in a PSA 10. There's only about 80 some odd cards in the 6 series. There's 6 Hall of Famers. But hey, buy a share, cross your fingers, we crack it, we open it, get a Willie Mays or anybody, Ernie Banks, Pete Rose, and you're going to have one hell of a Christmas for you and the family. I want to just close out. We're going to probably maybe look for, I got a couple other, I'm not going to go over these. They're on the website. We have a Topps Baseball Scoops. Great card, great series, very underrated in my opinion. They're on there. We have a 1974 Rack Pack. Just beautiful cards on there. The centering, the corners, and a Rack Pack. Sealed. All ready to be opened. Go check out the prices on those. Packs galore here. A couple of other packs we have on our non-sport. Looking around for some more Three Stooges packs. What we have here is good old Clark Kent Superman 1966 wax pack. A nickel pack back in the day. There's 6 cards in this pack, $60 per share, right away 600 points, there's a dividend. Cards again, 1 in 66 will get you over $1,000, $1,500 in a 1 in a 66. Any other PSA 10 will get you over maybe $1,000 in that series. And boy, I mean, outside of all the football and baseball players that are out there, 1962 Civil War News cello pack. These packs were basically, they're very, according to PSA, I read an old article, they're the #1 non-sport pack out there with the 59 Fleer Three Stooges and the Horror Wars, I believe, in the top 5, rounding out the top 5. This was issued in 1962, and there's 16 cards alone that are worth over and a PSA 10 that are worth over $1,000. There's 88 cards in the Civil War set. There's a currency on the back, which I'm not going to show, but that's worth some money. But these cards sold for well over $1,000 in a PSA 10. They're very graphic. It's a historic lesson. It's a great stocking card for your kids who are learning about the Civil War. It was a very brutal war, and some of the graphic pictures on here were so bad, some of the parents back in 1962, think about it, really didn't want their kids looking at it. It was that graphic. Go search online, go look at some of the packs that are out there. Just a great historic card. Could be worth a lot of money. Like I said, PSA 10s are all up there. And in each Civil War cello pack, there's Confederate currency. It's on the back of the card. I'm not going to show it. Every Topps, I guess, put like an old, not real currency, but a Confederate, what the Confederates were back then. And I'm going to randomize that and give it away as a bonus on top of the dividend, on top of the loyalty points, the one lucky winner at the end. PSA may grade those. They're just good to have. It's just really an awesome and beautiful thing to give out for a free gift. So once again, don't forget, any football pack you buy at www.justripit.com, you will get a free 1-card pack of 1974 football. They're in here. They're in the box. They came in the mail the other day. I can't wait to give them out. They're from an auction house. They're not graded, but they come from an auction house. So they do their due diligence, and I'm giving them away for free. So you got nothing to lose. Same thing here. Buy any baseball pack, and you'll get a free 1968. 50 years ago. This pack is 50 years old. Not graded. It's unsearched. It's an iron-on. I can feel the gum in there. It's a nice little thing. I may even random off the box. If they all sell out, I'll send the box. A lot of people collect the display box. It's just a great... They run up there in a couple of $1,000. Not this one, but some of the rare cello packs and baseball packs that were in the actual display box. Garnish a lot of money. That's for sure. So we got a lot of cards here. We got a lot going on. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Like our page. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look for more promotions via email. We're going to give away a lot. December is the month of giving. It's Christmas. We're going to give away a lot. These are just great things. We have gift certificates if you want to give one to your friends for Christmas, for the holidays. And I tell you, it's just great. And like I said, there's not too many. They're not making these. They're not making 1970 top cello baseball cello packs anymore. You can't go to the store and buy one with Aaron Judge or 2018. They don't make these anymore. These are rare. A lot of people hoard them. A lot of people rip them open. A lot of people are realizing, hey, I got a graded unsearched pack. I could have a $50,000 card in here. Well, let me open it. It's like a lottery. It really is. It's just really a great little idea to get people that get these cards out there. Football, baseball. We're going to eventually add hockey and basketball. I think it's very important. Gretzky, you got Magic Johnson, Kareem. We'll go over those down the road. On that front, boy, it just goes on. I got other packs here I'm going to be giving away. Just little novelty. Three's Company. I got a 1989 Fleer Three Stooges pack I could be giving away on the next Three Stooge pack. I think there's, yeah. Elvis. Great stocking stuffer. These will all be given away. Anything that's not graded on JustRipIt.com will be given away for free. I'm not going to charge or be responsible for any graded, ungraded, and search pack. Hey, Rocky 2. Creed 2's out right now. I heard it's a great movie. Rocky 2, wax pack from the Rocky 2 movie when he beat the hell out of Apollo. Not a bad thing to do at that point. We got, again, on our shop, we got JustRipIt.com coasters. We have our mug, JustRipIt.com. And a wide assortment of other packs. Also, I'm going to be giving out down the road, I have 1961 new card football stars. Now, a rarity on JustRipIt.com. It's not graded, but these were sealed like they were sealed today. They don't have wax packs today at the drugstores and Target and Walmart and hobby shops, but they come in really good sealed packs. And the new card people back in '61, I got a new card baseball, which was graded, but you can see clearly they sealed these packs back then. There was no wax, there was no chapstick, there was no opening and resealing. These were sealed. They were ahead of the game because you can't find wax packs today. Most cards are foil and they're sealed, but this is sealed. And these will also be giveaways on some of our items that we have if you buy a share. There's a free college pennant in there. It's just great to look at the back and see all the different items that are on there on that front. But that's it. Like, again, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget about our free promotions, our loyalty program. Any questions, email us at support@justripit.com. Our next broadcast will be next Wednesday. I'm hoping to open up more packs, go over more packs, pack, all packs down the road. And we look forward to seeing everyone then. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you for joining us for this 1 hour. If you stayed with us all the way through. If you couldn't make it to the live broadcast tonight, you can just archive, go to our JustRipIt.com, and archives of all our videos are there. So if anybody in the Three Stooge pack missed the drawing, you wake up a little late or you're out with your kids somewhere, you can go home and basically read it all over. And don't forget, register at JustRipIt.com. Spend $100, just $100 or more, and you will get 5,000 bonus points just for signing up. It's the holidays. I should have a Santa hat on. These are the things you got to do during the holidays. You got to give. You got to give. You got to rip. You got to make money. You got to send these cards to the PSA. I will put a rush on it to get you money by Christmas so you can go out there and buy your whole family a beautiful gift or display it on that front. I think it's a wonderful novelty thing to do. And with that, we will leave you and sayonara. We'll see you next Wednesday at www.justripit.com. Leave you with the Three Stooges theme music. Thank you.